Pod Chef. Pod Chef. Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They got 19 seasons, that's a lot, kid, but you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show, not the food though, but the other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the only official podcast about the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Jamal, Brian, and Reeves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pod Chef. And maybe you're at home, or in your car, or in the train, or, I don't know, taking a walk, or trapped in a trunk, and all you have is your phone and your AirPods, and you're just like, gotta listen to something, and you're like, this doesn't sound like Jamal. Mm-mm. Well, you're right. Jamal's not here, folks. This is new. Yeah, we've never been Jamal-less.
This is his first time. He was priding himself on his attendance record and how he was always here.
Yeah, I think last year Tom gave him perfect attendance. He got perfect attendance. For the last couple of years. He's gotten perfect attendance.
Yes, which adds up. He shows up and he wears that as a badge of honor. Mm-hmm. But today he had to miss because I think he's okay with us talking about it. He had surgery. And people probably have noticed in previous episodes that Jamal was, hornier than maybe he had been before. Mm-hmm. Some of the comments that he was making were very horny. Uh-huh. And he noticed.
Yeah.
He talked to his doctor about it. Mm-hmm. His doctor was like, that is a problem. First of all, he got a CAT scan to ensure that, he was maybe too horny.
Because that shows up.
Yes, it shows up on the CAT scan. The doctor came in, took his glasses off, and he said, Jamal, I'm sorry I have to tell you this, but you're way too horny, and we're going to have to operate on you.
And nobody wants to hear the big H word, that you're horny.
No, it's devastating news.
Yeah, you got to tell all your friends, and maybe you don't want to tell them. Maybe it's it's the silent battle that you're facing yourself.
Yeah. How do you broach that topic with friends? I mean, especially family, you have to tell them, and they're going to love you no matter what you say. Right. And you feel like you can be vulnerable with them. Most people, some people. Yeah. But your friends, I mean, that's hard, to talk about, like, hey guys, just want to let you know, I'm not going to be around for a little while. I've got a serious condition that my doctor told me about. He let me know, I've been feeling for a while that I was maybe, too horny. I was feeling extra horny. And my doctor confirmed that that was the case, and that it needed surgery to fix it, because I don't want to be that horny all the time.
Right. Yeah.
That's, can be painful.
Oh gosh, yeah. This is a good time to just repeat. Guys, if you think that you might be too horny, talk to your doctor. I know it sounds like it might be an embarrassing conversation. And yeah, maybe, but maybe make a joke out of it. Maybe it's early to go to the writer's room, but I think we should. Let's just go to the writer's room for
we can go in the writer's room
and pitch some ways that you could maybe broach with your doctor that you're feeling too horny to break the ice.
Yes. Okay. Let's get in the writer's room.
It looks okay in here.
It does. It looks pretty nice. Like someone has refurbished some of this. Mm-hmm. I don't know who's been in here since I was gone. At least it burned down or something. But
yeah, something happened to it.
Who knows? Who remembers?
Though, and there is catering now.
Okay, that's good. A lot of fruit.
Mostly fruit.
So I think we should we should come up with maybe like a nice commercial ad. Okay, so here's my start. So it starts purple screen, white lettering.
Okay.
the song. Oh, me so horny. Oh. So that's playing, right?
But maybe it's like a slowed down octave lower version.
Yes, and maybe it's like a woman singing.
Like all the trailers do nowadays. It's just like a slowed down version of the famous song that we all know, which might be racist to sing.
Yeah, maybe. Hey,
But
write
that's
in, write us a
That's
review.
the song. That's the
is
song.
I was talking about the song. And
Yeah.
I mean this is a writer's room. So things stay in the writer's room.
Yes,
you know
you
what
can't
I mean?
get canceled in the writer's room.
Mm-mm. So yeah, so that's playing.
Uh-huh.
And then, white lettering comes up. Are you horny?
Mm-hmm.
And then it says, clear, and then too horny.
Yeah, and that's when the song switches to a version of the song that's been updated to fit this situation where it says, "Oh,
Yes.
me too horny."
Hell yes. Yes. And then that's good. So that's you're doing good work there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then bam, doctor on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
In a lab coat.
White coat.
Yep. Stethoscope. He's got everything. Big.
And he looks like he's
glasses.
from the 70s, but he's modern.
Yeah, he's modern man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at most, born in the 70s.
Yes, you'd hope so. Anything younger than that, you can't trust him.
Can't. Yeah, well, I want a duty houser over there.
No way.
Trying to tell me how horny I am.
Opening me up to fix my horniness? No thanks.
Yeah, right. Got to write on me where to fix that. And he's well, okay, so I'll pitch it to you. What should he be doing prior to? Is it like straight at camera, like he's pointing at you like, are you horny? Do you need it fixed? Or
I think maybe he's doing something and he's like oh hi. Like he gets like
yes.
he's like, let's say he's like eating takeout.
Okay.
He's got the traditional takeout Chinese cardboard bucket, and he's got his like chopstick, and he's like eating. I assume it's like a lo mein.
Yes, I think there's noodles. Noodly. Noodles are getting all over him, and again, he is in his lab coat. He's got his stethoscope, and I'm thinking he's maybe like in the driver's seat of his parked car, like in the garage of the hospital. He's like on break, but he doesn't want to really eat in there because people are constantly bothering him. Yes, so he's got to eat in his car.
Whenever people don't notice this, but when you see a doctor, don't ask them doctor questions. They get asked all the time.
That's all the time. And they're off hours sometimes. And so you need to respect their distance. Yeah, occasionally, I guess. So he's slurping up some lo mein. It's getting all over his face.
The white coat is like got little specks of like brown and like yellow.
And he's
really
like
into it.
He's getting into it, and he's like loving the food, but he is pissed that he's getting his lab coat messy. So he's kind of like slurping up, and he's like, damn it. And he's like patting it a little bit, but the patting it is making it worse.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. It's white, and this is oil based. It's not gonna. This is ruined. You got to bleach it when you get home.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how does he get into the horny stuff?
So he's slurping up the noodles. He's damn it.
Yeah,
just wash this coat. My wife is gonna kill me.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I didn't see you come in. Hi, I'm Doctor. And this is a doctor, and he's probably Italian, so he's Dr. Pupatella.
Pupatella, yeah. Okay.
And he's like, "Hi, I'm Dr. Pupatella." And
and maybe after that he says, "Yeah, I know."
he heard his whole life.
He heard his whole life, so he's like, he's in on the joke.
Yeah, he's like,
he owns it now.
Right? Yeah. He's like, yeah. Well, he can't tell me anything I've heard already. Yeah. He's like, but you know what isn't funny? Being too horny.
Yeah. It's not funny. It's not a laughing matter. Unlike my last name, which I've come to learn is fucking hilarious.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
I just said people like they lose everything. They just like fucking lose their shit.
Oh yeah.
My name.
Absolutely. And then he gets like, he's getting real serious about it, and he's like, if you're feeling extra hornier than usual, go to your local doctor and get it checked out immediately.
Yes.
And then maybe, and so I'm imagining this, it's kind of like profile, and he's turned maybe window down the car.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. The camera's outside of the car.
Yeah, and he's turned to it, and I think at this point it cuts to another side. He has to roll down the passenger window,
Mm-hmm.
and he
Yeah.
continues with his pitch.
Yeah. And he's like, and if you're wondering, maybe you're like, is my amount of horniness too much? Like, how do I know?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, that's a great question. And he pulls out a chart. And this chart, it goes from like green to red, top to bottom.
Sure.
And the green is like not horny at all.
Mm-hmm.
And green means that's what you want to be. You want to be not horny at all.
Yeah, you want to run in the green.
Mm-hmm.
That's a safe horniness.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, for most men. And I mean, this does affect,
some
let's be
women.
some women, some, but I think I was looking at the numbers and it's very low in terms of the ratio of men to women.
And but like you can't ignore that though.
No, you shouldn't. And I think that's a problem. Some of the doctors are like, well, this doesn't really happen with women. So it's fucked up. That's on the doctors. Yeah.
And Dr. Pupatella recognizes that, and he does say that. He says, look, I know all my paperwork says men, but I'm talking to you ladies too.
Yeah. Ladies, it can happen to you too.
Yeah. Green, not horny at all. Yellow, pretty horny. Fairly horny. And then red is very horny. And beside each one, it has like examples of what you might be doing or thinking that would make you think that what level you are. So green, which is not horny, maybe you are reading a book.
Yeah.
And like not feeling horny with the book unless something horny happens in the book, and then you're allowed to feel horny.
Yes, it's a respectable. Maybe you're reading something that's can be kind of sexy. Maybe like Pride and Prejudice. There's some vague sexiness to that.
Some longing glances that like okay, I'm feeling this,
but pretty safe and appropriate.
Yeah, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow, it says things like maybe you're like reading a book, but you're like getting horny at the things that like aren't necessarily sexy.
That's right.
Like maybe you're like, oh, look at this comma, and that's kind of getting you going.
Yeah. You're reading War and Peace, and there's just like parts of it that are very grim, and you're like, your mind just starts to wander of like, okay, well, what about the scenario? What if this guy comes in? And he's all worked up, so it's kind of like you're writing on the fly and you're turning things that aren't horny, you're making them horny.
Yeah. And maybe, if you're at that point, it's time to start thinking about it. You don't have to go to the doctor yet.
Mm-hmm.
Just be aware of it.
Yes. I think if you went to the doctor and you mentioned it, they'd be like, listen, this level of horniness, you're in the yellow zone. It's manageable, but you gotta start managing it.
Yeah. Either you start managing it or we're going to have to intervene.
Yes. Via surgery.
Yes. So then there's the red. And the red, of course, is too horny. And so next to that, the example is like, you're like reading a book.
Yes.
And you fuck the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and you ask the book first, of course.
100%.
Yes. But you do end up having sex with a book.
Mm-hmm. And whatever that means to you, if you're picturing it right now, that's yellow. And that's okay.
Yeah. And I mean, sex is a lot of different things. Doesn't have to be,
penetration.
Yeah, you sticking your wiener in there. It doesn't have to be that.
It doesn't have to be that.
Sex could just be, holding hands with a page or something like that, But any of those things is wildly inappropriate, too horny, and you do need to see a doctor so they can operate on you and get some of that horniness out.
Yeah. So Jamal, we wishing you all the best.
Yeah.
you get well soon.
Happy recovery. We should leave the writer's room.
Oh yeah, okay. Let me I'm gonna put back some of this fruit. I put a lot in my pockets.
Yeah. You put a whole bunch of grapes in your pocket and then you kind of sat down your back pocket and they just smashed.
I thought it would be fun. And it was just wet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully no one's mad at us. Okay. So this is Pod Chef. Reeves is here. Today baby. He's second mic as always, and I'm first mic. And if you aren't down with that, I got 2 words for you. We've done this before, I think, where I said Pod Chef, so I'm not gonna do that again. So we have a lot of stuff to cover today, in that we have nothing to cover. A little peek behind the candelabra is that Jamal is normally the person who writes up this lovely episode recap. with descriptions, and he puts a picture of his food in there, and it's really good to help us follow along with what's happening. Didn't do that. Reeves and I are very busy.
No, we don't have time. That is true. Jamal does a lot of work in that way for each episode. He does put a picture of his food in there, which is nice. We don't send any pictures of our food at all.
No one gets to see it.
I barely remember what I made until the podcast. I'm often looking through my phone to figure out what I made during the podcast. So he's very prepared. So if this seems unprepared in any way, hey, it's because Jamal's not here.
Yeah. So. And you know what? It'll get better because he'll be back next week.
Yes. Yeah. We'll probably make him.
We do have a page out of Tom Colicchio's travel journal, though, to share with you. And
that's exciting.
And at least Reeves can give us, a first-hand experience of what this is. So this is just Tom Colicchio's part of the story. And Reeves was there for most of this, so he can tell us, like, if he's exaggerating, if he's lying, if he's, like, leaving some things out intentionally.
Sure. Yeah, I'll fact check this. Do you know? So what page is this?
This is day 43.
Day 43. Okay.
We're deep in this.
We're deep in. Yeah.
This is a short one. Seems like you might have been in a hurry. Day 43. Today I ate a bug. It didn't taste as good as it looked. Reeves told me not to eat it. He said, quote, "Don't eat it." But I did. Because he's not the boss of me. But now I wish he was the boss of me because it tasted bad. Sometimes it's hard to be on top and be the boss because there's no one making sure you don't bonk your head on the ceiling. Colicchio out.
It was a huge beetle. It was so big. He caught it and he said, "Hey, look at this." And he was just kind of hanging it over his mouth. And I was like, you don't want to eat that. That's disgusting. And it's not going to make you feel good. Yeah. And then, of course, he said, "You're not the boss of me." And he ate it. And then he just kept spitting and going, "Ugh. Ugh. Gross. Ugh."
You hit him with like, "I told you so"?
Well, I mean, I just had done that so much this trip that I knew that he knew. So it's like, I don't have to like rub it in his face. So I was more of like, "Hey, do you want some help or anything like that?" And he was just like, "No." Yeah.
He didn't put anything on it. He didn't prepare the bug in any way. He just ate it.
Which is very surprising for a man who is a cook. Yeah. He was constantly trying to eat things raw out there. He's like, "I'm going to get some tartar mud." And he would just eat some mud. It was the same thing where he'd just go, "Ugh! It's disgusting." Yeah.
I think you were telling me that anything he eats that's not cooked, he's like, "No, it's a tartar," or like this is a ceviche. He'd be like, "No, this is a ceviche. It's fine.
This is a nice ceviche." It's like,
fine.
"I'm going to put it in some water and the water will cook it very slowly like a ceviche." I'm like, "I don't think it's acid. And I don't think you want to put that in acid. That's a piece of bush." So he eats it. Yeah. Hey, you know what? You can eat trees. I didn't learn that from Tom. I learned that from Malone.
Yeah, you carve a tree and you eat like the inside of it. And then one person did okay. One person got really sick doing it. Because
can you imagine? Trees. Yeah, that's the reason I don't eat them. Not enough fat.
No.
But I do. Every time I go outside, I see a nice big juicy tree. I go, "Oh boy, I'd like to eat one of those."
Yeah, nature is, people want to order food. Chef, last night I procured for you. Go outside, eat a tree. Yeah,
there's trees everywhere. There's food all over the place. You could just carve open a tree, eat it, and then it will really fuck up your stomach because you just ate a tree.
Yeah, and then maybe you ate the tree and you're like, "That tasted not good, but I didn't die." But then you don't poop for 15 days and you get sent home.
Yeah. You get sent home because you couldn't have a poopy. That's, again, this podcast educational. You can eat trees.
Yeah, you just won't poopy. Let's move on to a segment we do every week. It's called Chefs I Prepared for You.
That's right.
And the way that we play this game is that, one, it's not a game. And that, two, is we say what we had for dinner last night.
That's right.
And only last night. And we do it like we're presenting the food to the top chef judges, which are Tom, Gail, Padma, sometimes Toby, occasionally a famous guy. like freaking Todd English.
Todd English.
We all know who he is. He's hot.
We'll get into him.
And there will be a winner. This is last night, only last night. And I usually go last. But since I'm hosting, should I go first?
You got to go first now. Your first chair.
Okay. Chefs, last night I prepared for you frozen yucky pizza. Really gross. They were not good.
No.
They were that guy. He's dead now, but he sells all his pizzas. You know the guy. He was in movies, and now he has food, and all the profits go to
Paul
kids.
Newman?
Paul Newman.
Yeah.
Paul Newman pizzas. They were pretty bad. It definitely wasn't as good as Cool Hand Luke.
These were that was him. These were veggie pizzas.
So Carrie had a cheese pizza. I had their take on a buffalo chicken pizza.
Ooh.
And my review of their take on a buffalo chicken pizza is that they can have it back. If they want to take it back, please take it back.
Please take this off my hands.
I don't want it. I even dressed it up with some additional Franks, a little blue cheese dressing on there, and it didn't do it. But you know what? It cost $2. It was on sale.
Holy shit!
It was on sale.
That's a shocker. $2, and this is a full pizza, like a large pizza.
Yeah, I think it was like regularly priced like $7.99. It's one of the things where it was like on sale plus like another sale sort of thing. Where it's like the final sale price $1.99. You're like, I can't not get that.
Yeah,
and then I should have not got that.
That's so. Was it just that it tasted like shit, or like how was it too soggy? Was the bread bad?
It was like a flat pizza, and it accomplished that pretty well. It was flat, and it had like a decent crisp to it. That's what you want out of a frozen flat pizza. But it just had no flavor other than that. Like, it really didn't taste like anything. You know, it tasted like the blue cheese and the Franks that I put on there. But other than that, it had no flavor, really. Needed some seasoning. Needed some salt on there.
A little salt on that bad boy. That would bring it out. I'm not a big fan of chicken on pizza. I'm trying to think of a scenario that I would like it.
I'm a huge buffalo chicken pizza guy.
I don't think I've had it enough to like have an opinion on it.
It's pretty good, in my opinion.
How big are the chunks of
these
chicken?
Were little. These were little.
That makes sense.
Sometimes I go to a place that does like a fancy buff chicken slice, and then it'll be like a breaded chicken cutlet cut up. Seems like a very New York thing, like a breaded chicken cutlet cut up, like bigger slices, big hunks.
Right.
And they'll do like buffalo sauce instead of marinara, cheese, and they'll put like ranch on it. And that's really good.
That sounds good. I feel like, how are your poops after something like that?
You know, my poops in general are not good. So
I feel like that, sounds really bad.
Yeah, it's just one of those days. Like, it's not notable. I'm not going and being like, oh no. It's just like, oh, there we go again, sort of thing.
It's all going off.
Yeah, I can't trace it to one thing exactly.
Okay. Excuse me. Chefs, I prepare for you spaghetti with meat sauce.
Okay.
That's it.
Regular pasta? Were you talking just spaghetti?
Regular pasta spaghetti. Just some ground. I feel like this is a very 90s suburban. I'm sure a lot of people still do this, but to me, it's like frozen. It's like something that my mom would make. It's just like spaghetti, meat sauce, ground beef. You put the marinara sauce in it.
You're talking you like a canned tomato sauce?
Yeah. It's this. Okay. Oh yeah. I wasn't making my own. This was it's one of those things where it's like, I could put that together. I mean, anyone could put that together in like 20 minutes.
Yes.
20 minutes, 15 minutes. You can get it done pretty quickly. And that's a pretty hearty meal.
Yeah.
So,
you have a preferred marinara brand? Like, what was this brand of marinara?
I think it was whatever. Listen, I'm a fan of those Whole Food brand stuff. I
don't like those. The Whole Foods ones are bad to me.
They aren't really great. Well, I think they're pretty good about like limiting the amount of salt and sugar they put in stuff.
I think it needs salt and sugar in them.
Yeah. They have fat-free ones and like no salt added ones, which like you really can taste it. So I get whatever, just the regular marinara. Sometimes I get like the basil one as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's fine. I mean, if you season the ground beef enough and you season like the marinara sauce as it's like you're mixing everything in it, it tastes fine.
Yeah.
And then of course you put a little parm on top.
Mm-hmm. Fresh grade, the little
fresh grade. Oh, I freshly graded that bad
Oh
boy.
wow, you got the
Yes.
block sitting in the house.
I got the microplane, baby.
Wow.
So I use that. Make a little mountain on top of a molehill of spaghetti.
Turn it into a big deal.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we had.
Okay.
Not very exciting. It was a last minute thing.
It is a very traditional, like, what's for dinner? It's spaghetti.
Yeah,
And
spaghetti.
it's, and it's good. It's good.
I feel like that, what was in rotation for my mom? That, salmon,
Okay,
and then like
fancy mom.
a chicken. Yeah, my mom really liked salmon a lot. Oh, and we have a little bit of French chef. He was not happy that I made that last night.
No. He says, this is not.
He said, this is not French, and nor is it good. And disgusted. He spit it out. He refused to help me. Yeah, salmon. My mom really likes salmon, so we had a lot of salmon. And then like I think there was like one chicken dish that was like chicken and like white wine and like artichokes or something like that. Wow. And I feel like those were like the three things that we had. Those were like the rotation.
Wow. Yeah, we did. It wasn't anything like that in my house. But my mom always cooked. Did your dad cook?
No, my dad, classic dad, would do like breakfast for dinner if he was cooking. He cooks now though, so like he can do it now, but at the time he never really did breakfast for dinner if he had to do it.
And they were good with that arrangement. Your parents were like, this is fine.
This is fine. This works for everyone. Yeah, okay. I think so.
So they didn't have like a gender war over it.
I mean, there were gender wars going on at the time. But, this wasn't, 2009 when it was everywhere you turn,
Gender wars.
It's like anyone that's getting married right there, those parties are going to have gender wars.
Yeah, you got to pick your sides.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll be right back.
Perfect.
Pod Chef.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. Pod Chef. You know the deal.
Season 8. We are back.
Season 8, episode 2. We're talking about Top Chef, season 6, episode 2. Gender Wars. We're in Las Vegas.
Is it called Gender Wars? I thought it was Bachelor/et Party.
Oh. Hold on.
They did constantly say we're in the middle of a gender war. And they talked about it and referenced it a lot, but Peacock told me that it was Bachelor/et Party.
Okay, I was reading an article called Top Chef Recap Gender Wars.
Wait a second, Brian. Did you watch the episode or did you just read an article about the episode?
I did watch the episode.
Okay, good.
But while I was like listening to you talk about your mom's cooking, I was like, oh, I should probably find the name of this episode so I can like do a nice smooth transition. I type in to the old Google machine, aka my computer, Top Chef season 6 episode 2. The very first article. Well, so first things I did was skip the little part where it says the title of the episode thanks to Google, and I went to the first article from Entertainment Weekly, Top Chef Recap Gender Wars, and I was like, that's what it is. So looking at this again, it clearly says Bachelor/et Party.
Okay.
So I apologize for that transition. Jamal, get well soon.
Get well soon. That makes sense to me, listeners, the 4 people that listened to the before part, when you were trying to tee up me to say Gender Wars, and I was like, okay, I guess that leads into Bachelor/et Party in some way.
You didn't seem excited when I was like Gender War. You just kept talking, and I was like, he's not getting what I'm doing.
It's not like getting my shit right now.
Okay, this is episode 2 of season 6. We're in Las Vegas. It's called Bachelor/et Party. And like I said, we don't have a super clear thing to go to. I did take some notes here.
Well,
this is where I would say to press play on your 8-track machine.
Yes.
Put in this episode of Top Chef. Get in your dad or your mom's gremlin. Throw in the Top Chef season 6 episode 2. 8-track. Press play on it.
Yeah.
Windows down.
Turn that bad boy up so everyone can hear it.
Yeah, they want to hear it.
Yeah. So we start off with learning that there is a bit of a sibling rivalry between Michael Volt and Brian Volt's $3,000.
Wow, and people are like, why is Brian? People are like, how does Brian not know he's a robot? His last name is Volt.
Yeah.
And like so they added the Agio to try to confuse him, but like it's Volt.
Mm-hmm. I think it's like a memory thing for Michael, because when Brian, initially showed up at his house, and of course he looked exactly the same age, and he said, "Come with me if you want to live." Yeah. He was so young. I don't think he retained a lot of the information of like what he initially looked like, what his name was, the way he talked and stuff like that. So yeah. But there's a whole rivalry going on. Brian has a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Michael would like to have one.
Yep. Not fair, So they're upset and they want to beat each other, and that makes sense. So we get into the Top Chef kitchen where they do all their cooking, and Todd English is in there. And how do I know that? Because who wouldn't recognize Todd English?
Yeah. It's another one of those lovely moments where they're like, okay, this person needs no introduction. Cut to someone telling me, thank God, who this person is. I've never seen this asshole my entire life.
No idea who this person is.
Todd English. He's got a real shit-eating grin on his face.
He's got something of a necklace underneath his shirt. I can't quite see it, but there is a necklace there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has a huge medallion that is constantly glowing. He's a little, I would describe him as stiff on camera. He's not very relaxed.
He does pop next to the Voltagios, though. If you're thinking of someone who doesn't have any life. Also, Eve, and I don't want to be mean with Eve, but she has kind of a 1,000-yard stare at all times. And I worry that I have that too, so I can say it, because I feel like I have that look sometimes.
You don't have Eve's look. So Eve has resting smile face, which, I mean, we'll get into it. She's doing very well now. She seems like a very nice person, but it kind of makes her look a little dumb.
Yeah.
Or that she isn't like processing what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah.
She's not like actively listening, but she is. It's just she unfortunately has a very interesting resting face. Yeah. And then also she did a really shitty dish, so that doesn't help.
Maybe she is dumb. They walk into the thing, and not only is Todd English there, but there's also a roulette table.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, we're gonna start gambling.
Yeah, we're gonna throw the dice. Kevin says this is the closest he's ever been to a roulette table, because he was afraid of them as a child growing up.
They're big.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I mean, everyone grew up watching Casino, and it's like after Casino came out, it's like, am I going to go close to a roulette table? No.
Am I crazy?
Am
I nuts?
Stabbed by James Woods.
No
Is that
way.
who it was?
No.
Jim Woods? What's the name of the guy? Who's the guy that's like the druggie that's...
Oh, I was thinking of the main guy in that movie with the crazy laugh.
Pesci?
No, not Pesci though. Pesci's got a good.
Oh, Ray Liotta, but that's Goodfellas.
Oh, oops.
That's Goodfellas, baby. The better
Pesci's
one.
in that.
The better
Video's
movie.
John Manca's in that.
Who's the
James
guy?
Woods. You're
James.
James,
Oh my God.
James Woods, modern day Trumper. James Woods.
Oh man, I'm so glad I nailed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kevin's afraid of him.
Yeah. And he's like, oh my God, we've got to play roulette. And the answer is sort of. What they have to do for this quickfire challenge is they have to roll the 2 dice, and they have to, and whatever number they land on between the 2 dice, is that's how many ingredients they have to use. So if you get snake eyes, that's 2 ingredients.
That's 2 ingredients. And we learn, which I didn't really initially think about this, but it's true from Michael Voltaggio, that you don't want more ingredients. Less ingredients is easier. But if you have to like mess with like 15, 10 ingredients, he's like, that's going to be too messy.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about that, but he's right. It's easier with less.
I feel like everyone went really simple with this challenge anyway. I feel like even the folks who had like 10 things, it was like, here's a piece of fish, and then I put a bunch of shit in a blender, and now it's sauce.
Yes. Sauce happens.
Yeah. So, and also this is a high stakes quick fire, which means the winner not only gets immunity, but gets $15,000. And that means if we're adjusting for inflation, whoever wins gets $1 billion.
Yeah. Right now, they would be awarded a cool $1 billion and like, oh, great. Finally I can pay, 1/6 of my student loan debt off.
Yeah, I can fill the tank of my car.
Yeah.
Twice,
I can
maybe
finally buy a bunch of Twinkies so I feel a little bit better. Yeah.
Inflation's wild.
We see the
says,
sous vide boys. We see him sous videing for the first time, which I think is fun. This
with
is
very little time.
Very little time. Part of the reason that you do it, get a nice sous vide in, get it in that bag, put it in there, and then all you have to do is sear it real quick right before, which is very smart. And it's prominent throughout this season. Which there's long term storytelling in Top Chef. We see sous vide come out a little bit early. You hit it hard in the season finale last year, and now you're going to see it all throughout, executed perfectly by the Voltaggios.
Yep. Yeah, he puts some oil in a little bag, puts a fish in a little bag, and then he seals it, and then he puts it in some water, and then Todd English says, "This is very rare."
This is rare.
Like it. He didn't seem to like it.
This tastes like shit to me. How do you feel about it? Brian went, I don't know. As a start of Brian, so this is like a running thing in the mini seasons. Or is he just in 2 seasons? He does this and then the Masters one. And then the All-Star one that happened recently.
The Los Angeles, yeah.
Yeah. But he like notoriously does poorly in the quick fires. I think the first one he wins is this latest season in Los Angeles. So it's a cornerstone of all Bry 3000.
Yeah, he is in the bottom of this one. Todd English hated his shit. But oh gosh, can you believe it? His younger brother wins the quick fire.
Oh man.
And puts it right in Brian's face. And he's like, look at this shit. I won $15,000, aka $1 billion in 2022.
Yeah, he gets right up in his face. He said, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about that?
And they have a big fight.
Mm-hmm.
Huge fight.
Yeah. They just kind of roll around the ground. All the freaking tables fall over and stuff like that. They eventually break it up.
The dirt sheets reported about it. There's a lot of backstage, back kitchen drama there.
Yeah.
So that's done, and we're all having a good time. And then Padma says, well, let's keep the Vegas stuff going because we're in Vegas. We're going to have us a good old-fashioned bachelor/et cook-off. You're going to break up into teams. And guess what these teams are? These teams are gendered. You're going to be on a boy team and a girl team. And the boys going to cook for the girl. And the girls going to cook for the boy.
Yes.
And the way that we learn what these bachelor and bachelorettes like is they bring their 3 favorite shots. And these shots flavors are a Moscow Mule, which is what the ladies...
Shot 1, Moscow Mule.
Moscow Mule.
Okay.
We all know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Shot 2, tequila with a little orange on top of it.
Yeah.
And shot 3 is a gooey shot. He describes it as being gooey.
This thing is so gooey. And if you are imagining the gooey shot, yes, it's like you kind of hold it up and it just slowly kind of goops out down into someone's mouth.
Yeah, and you're partying.
Yeah, you're partying so hardy. Yeah, they have to pair it with shots, which is stupid. So I was asking my wife about this. I was like, when was the last time I took a shot? And I think it was at my wedding because people asked to do it, so I did it. Prior to that, I mean, maybe college. When was the last time you had a shot? Was it a wedding?
No, I've gone to, I think maybe the last time that I did a shot, I think Karen and I went to a restaurant in Brooklyn that their whole thing was we do tequila and fancy stuff. And after our meal, they gave us tequila shots.
Okay. So it was given to you. It wasn't like you were like, man, I'm going to take a shot right now.
Yeah. But I'm the person that any party that I'm at, when there's a group that's we're doing shots, I'm like, hey, and I put my head in there.
Okay.
And but we've established that I am the scum of this podcast. If
no, not scum. You're more of the party animal of the podcast. You're you're the Poochie.
I'm the Poochie, and everyone loves Poochie. Long tail on that guy. Really stuck around for a while. But yeah, I think shots are fun. I like a place that you go to that gives you a $6 PBR in a shot sort of situation. I'll do that. I
didn't know that. So that is a thing that you can go and they're like, oh, here's a beer and a shot is a deal at places. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought that was only into movies.
No, I think it's called a Boilermaker. Is that what it's called? No, maybe it's a drink. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I think it's fun. Shots can be fun. When I was going to my hometown a lot as an adult, we would go to Chatty's Lounge quite a bit. And my my friend, who they're a bunch of party people there, him and his wife would be like, hey, let's like buy shots. And I was like, cool, yeah, I'm down to black out. She would always get the same shot. So she would always order a redheaded slut for the shot, which I think is
that's the name of the shot, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I think it's like Red Bull and some kind of alcohol, vodka.
Probably
who
vodka,
knows?
Red Bull vodka, yeah.
But the reason she would do it is because her husband, my friend, his ex-girlfriend was a redhead. So she would do that and she'd be like, ha, ha, ha. I thought it was like the funniest thing in the entire world.
That is a pretty hilarious joke to play on your husband. Especially if you don't like that shot. Like that's a cool thing to do. Really stick it to him. Yeah, I think shots like they mentioned Kevin was talking about how, he had a bachelor party and it was very debaucherous. Yeah. And I mean, in case you're thinking about it, yes, Tom was there.
Oh, of course.
And Tom was running the show. Tom was like head of debauchery basically for the bachelor party. As soon as they all showed up, he got him on the party bus. He said, "Okay, everyone, let's everyone
shut off your phones.
Everyone shut off your phones, and you're gonna throw your phones in these bags." And he had this bag. They all threw it in, and then he just like tied a knot and then threw it out the window.
And you'll get it back at the end of the party, but they did not.
They did not. Those phones are gone. He said, "Okay, everyone, we're all gonna show each other our butts."
The bond over.
Everyone, get out your butt. We're all gonna look at each other's butts. But I think
we're gonna compare.
But I think it was just like he had a weird, I guess it was like a boil or something like that, and he just really was wanting everyone to look at it and like get an opinion on if he should see a doctor about it or something.
And unlike possibly being too horny, if you do have a big boil in your butt, show it to your friends.
Yes, go there first.
Yeah,
go there first.
They'll tell you. Ashley's very upset about this whole situation because at this point in time, they're not allowing gay marriage. And I am not gay, so I don't want to give an opinion on this, but I'm just putting it out there. That's wedding still existed, so I don't know why you'd be like, I don't want to do this.
I mean, I think it was, so it would have been 2009. So it was probably a big hot topic issue at that point.
Was it the hot topic at the time?
Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, it was. I mean, Top Chef, especially this season, which has so many problems in terms of like the way a lot of the men treat the women and stuff like that. It's an interesting season to also be like, oh, we're going to follow this narrative of someone talking about, this issue. It almost seems out of the tone of the rest of the season. I mean, nice to have it in there because you learn more about the chefs, stuff like that. So yeah, interesting. But that's a thread throughout the whole episode.
Yeah, it doesn't really come up though. I thought she would bring it up, but she does not. I think if she'd been in the bottom, she might have brought it up.
Maybe. Well, she is in the bottom.
Yeah,
she's the bottom. She was like the top of the bottom.
Yeah, they liked her one thing, but they hated her
panna cotta.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you see it a couple of times, but yeah. Another thing, we talked last season about how Carla is just like a star. She's like a Medi-Raid star. Medi-Raid. What is the fuck?
What are you trying to say? Ready-made. What were you saying?
I don't think I can re-say it.
Medi-Raid.
It was like some dyslexia stuff. It was weird. No. Anyway, I might be having a stroke.
I'll watch out for the signs.
Yeah, thank you. Carla was a star. I think Jen is someone who is a very good star now. Like I see her in her talking heads, and like she talks in her interview, and she talks about how like she hates that they're doing gender, based elimination challenges, thinks it sucks. Which is like, I feel like both her opinions and also her take, which is like very relatable, the way she talks about things. Like at a certain point, she's like, I'm going to get whatever she ended up with. She's like, lamb, I think they're going to like it. She's like, if it doesn't, I don't know, figure something else out. And I think she's like very relatable person. She's kind of like an Allison Roman, where she like talks the way we talk, which is very, very hip now. But I feel like at the time it was kind of like, There wasn't
You wanted
a lot
to
of
be
that.
a big person for TV. You wanted to be like the biggest personality
That's right.
to get TV time.
So they should give her a show. She should be on more shows.
It did seem like, I mean, like looking back at this season, it does seem like the men were like better chefs at the time. I don't know if that's the case. I mean, like from this season, very few women have moved forward and still like Jen is still around doing stuff. But the men in this season, they're all kind of in the zeitgeist of like celebrity chefs. Mostly,
Yeah.
except for like Eli and
Eli the troll.
At one point, the one guy was, but then he was a bad guy, so he told him to go away.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of, and when we kind of see this, they did this a lot more in these seasons where there's a couple of people that are a little too green maybe to be on Top Chef, but it's like intentional that they put them there for a bit of a balance. But I don't think they ever really do well. Maybe Kwame, I guess he probably was that. He fit maybe that role in his season and he did very well. But yeah, I mean, it's clear that like the Voltagios and like Kevin, especially, I think, and then I would put Jen in that bracket too, I think are a cut above everyone else.
Yeah.
And is very excited. Like even Mike Isabella, I think it's just like, they're just kind of in a different tier than everyone else.
Yeah. So they have to make food. They have $800 per team, I think, to make food, or it might be per person. I'm not sure. They talk to the bride and the groom, bachelor, bachelorette, figure out what they like. The answer is mostly fish. It's what they like is fish.
Get us fish.
They cook a ton of fish. Everything is kind of fish in this thing, except for Ashley, who does a watermelon gazpacho, which sounds really good.
Yeah.
And Michael, who does a fucking guacamole filled meringue, which just sounds and looks awful. What the fuck is this thing?
I don't know. He made a meringue and it was guac, and apparently it was very good. They loved it.
They loved it. It sounds awful.
But it looks like it should be very sweet.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like what it is. It's very cheeky what he has done. They do, both the Voltagios do a lot of very clever things.
Yeah.
And later in the season, I think there's a lot of people that are like very enamored by them, the other chefs, contestants, because there's just no one else like the two of them. And then you also have, everyone else is very good. But they do a lot of that kind of cheeky stuff. Hector made tofu ceviche.
Yeah, and you may think that that's brave, and Tom agrees, as he said that he's surprised that anyone had the huevos to make this, which of course is
he said
Spanish. Which he's like, you know what I did there?
Yeah, he's
I
like,
I
know a
your
little bit of
language.
Spanish.
Yeah.
And
You
Hector
like
said,
that?
please don't say that again. Tom said, okay.
Yeah.
We get a nice so they have these little, I feel like maybe they did it last season too, where they have these like small little clips that are like unrelated to the episode itself, but happened maybe at that time. They do it. This one is of Mike Isabella talking about how he likes to give out nicknames. That's his deal. He gives people nicknames. Kevin and Eli are the Pickle Brothers. And I mean, this is a very hard one to decipher. Why are they the Pickle Brothers? He comes to tell us it's because they eat pickles. He calls. It's Petey, right? Is that her name? Preeti. He calls her Purdy because he can't say her name. So I have the same problem, I guess. So I mean, it really reveals him to be an asshole and
total trash.
The type of person that you would get sick of very quickly.
Oh my god, could you imagine hanging out with him?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of, if any, like actual physical altercations in Top Chef, but he does feel like the most likely to get punched in the face.
Yeah,
it's a very punchable face, Mike Isabella.
And he'd really, I think he'd be the kind of person that like, if he got punched in the face, he would have deserved it 100%. But then he would have been like, "I'm gonna sue," that sort of thing. That kind of person.
You know what? I was thinking about this watching the episode. He reminds me of like the type of guy you go over to like a sleepover at a friend's house, and he was the kid there that was kind of like, "Let's look at porn, guys." And everyone else was kind of like, "We're too young. We don't want to do that." And he's like, "Colin, let's look at some porn, right?"
I do it all the time at my dad's house.
I do it all the time. When I'm at my dad's on weekends, he lets me look at all the porn I want.
Let's just do it.
Weirdo. Don't invite Mike over again. He's weird. We're playing soccer in the back, and he started crying before we even started playing.
Any more takes on I don't have anything to say about the food. Stuff looks good or not good. It's all kind of fish based.
Yeah, the food itself, no. The event, are we going to go to the actual event now and talk about that?
Yeah.
So this is nice because we get some answers on the backstory of the first episode. How did the Voltaggios get sunburned? The answer is at the pool party. You can see it happening. At one point, I think someone, even Michael maybe said, "Man, it's hot out here." And I said, "Those boys, that skin's getting burnt now. I can see it happening." And it does. Very, very sunburned. Also, Tom is wearing sunglasses that are
Matrix.
akimbo. Yeah. They're kind of at a slant. So he's kind of looking like Weekend at Bernie's like.
He's propped up. It's a fun little back area, them hiding out from the heat, eating these little snacks. Everyone looks very hot. It's probably miserable there.
Mm-hmm.
But you notice that dry heat, and you don't sweat as much there. It's actually not bad. It's actually kind of nice.
It's not like a humid heat like you live on a swamp.
Oh boy. They're having a bunch of fun. The bachelors are there. The bachelor, it's the same party. So I mean, that's kind of. I didn't have a bachelor party, but I don't think I'd want it with the bachelorette party.
No, it was a little weird. I guess, the bachelor had sunglasses on. He had like Bono-like sunglasses.
He also had like everyone else was kind of like dressed for the pool. He had a full-on button-up shirt on.
Yeah, something that would be very uncomfortable probably to be outside. Of course, there is gratuitous shots of the women getting undressed to get into the pool. It's very disgusting. They should just edit that stuff out now. You don't really need it. Yeah, there was also, what was that weird point? There was a point where, the boys jump into the pool.
Yep.
The ladies see, they're like, at one point we look over and Ron is taking his chef's shirt off. And we say, that is so disrespectful and unprofessional. And then before we know it, they're in the pool.
Yep.
Bunch of big boys in the pool.
Someone says, I don't remember who it is, says, would you rather see girls in the pool or fat boys?
Is there another option? What about cute boys? What if there are cute boys in the pool?
Fat boys.
That seems kind of
Ron jumps in and I hear Kevin or Eli go, Big Ron. Both of those are big guys, so that's pretty great.
Big Ron.
Ron's fantastic. This is a good cast. Honestly, this is a real solid cast.
It's a great cast.
Pickle
a
Brothers.
lot of good, Pickle Brothers. I think it's a good mix of, which I think any reality, especially like competition stuff, you want a mixture of like really interesting talent. I think you also want some shitty people too, and then characters. And I think that like gives you a little bit of everything throughout the episode. It also creates comedy, which I think like is a lot of times the hardest thing in reality shows to create because people are just not funny. But if you have like this interesting balance of personalities, it just like naturally creates good comedy.
Yeah.
Organic comedy, which is the best. What the fuck was that? I wanted to find, there was something that someone said that was really weird. What was it? I think it was like the bachelorette, the bride was like drinking a shot, and was like a friend said something to the bachelor or to the groom about how he's like, oh, your wife's the one with the drinking problem or something like that. And I was like, hey, you guys should cut that. Anyway.
Yeah, I think they were like, we're gonna outdrink you guys.
Yeah.
Carrie was like, when I explained to Carrie, she was like, are they having a shot with every meal? And I was like, I think they're sipping the shots.
Yeah, they're having a little sip. It is like, I don't know. I know I already kind of talked about like I don't do shots anymore, but I haven't had like a meal. Like I kind of get tequila and something I get, but like a shot of anything and then being like, I'm going to eat this piece of food now and see if it pairs well with it. Does it? Like sipping it, I get it. Like hard alcohol, any kind of alcohol, I get the, but like a shot of it. Anyway. Judges table.
Judges table.
Yep. They someone says you ladies think you won, and I think it was Jesse was like, listen, or you guys think you're gonna bring home the gold? And Jesse says, I'm Michael Phelps, baby. Huge laugh. Massive laugh.
Yeah, you drop that joke now, and a lot of people go, "Who is that?
Who are you talking about? I don't know who that is."
Who? The guy from the Subway ads about depression texting?
Okay, now I know who you're talking about.
Smoke a bong in the pool? That guy?
Yeah. Oh,
What's
he has
got to do
gold
with
medals?
gold?
I don't know.
I don't know him. I don't know that guy. The Subway guy?
Never heard of him. The guy in jail?
So they pull out 4 people, and it's Hector and Brian and Michael and Eli.
That's right.
And they go, "Congratulations, you're the winning team, and you are the top 4 people of the day."
Yes.
Whatever.
They did very well. Gail says, "I can't count the amount of tuna tartars I've had." And this one was special. And I feel the same way. I am always eating tuna tartar all the time. So when something special like that comes out, that I taste, it really sticks out.
Yeah, it's I mean, like, can we stop with the tuna tartar for like a second?
Yeah. I mean, the McDonald's, the McTartar.
McTartar.
Uh-huh.
I mean, thankfully, it's only like a limited time thing comes out, but
Yeah.
no one needs it.
No
one needs it.
You don't need it. We're eating it all the time.
Yeah.
But if you can turn it around, make it something interesting, hey, good on you.
Like you said, Brian did that weird guac meringue thing. Michael did some like weird frozen thing. He did an apple cookie, goat cheese cookie thing that they went gaga over.
Yes.
I forget what Hector did. He did
He did tofu ceviche.
That's right. They also loved that he had the huevos to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said, winner, we didn't say, but winner is Brian with the weird guacamole thing.
He did it. Brian wins, and he's very thankful. He knew that if he didn't win, they would, of course, erase his memory. So he was very thankful for that. His memory is intact. Yeah.
They of course then have to go back and bring back some of their friends. Their friends being Eve, Jesse, Preeti, and Ashley. The 4 line up in front of the judges. They go, "Let's start with Jesse," and she starts crying immediately.
Oh God, it's so hard to watch. I mean, obviously it's edited down, but I'm like, it seems like immediately they start talking to her and she starts crying, and it's like, oh man.
And then it cuts to Gail, who like stops making eye contact. She's like, "Yeah, it just wasn't good." Like,
yeah, it really was disgusting. I didn't want to eat your trash food. She's crying the whole time.
Immediately crying. She has a lot. I don't mind. I'm not a old person who's like, "Oh, all these piercings," but they're also close together.
Her piercings are too close together for you.
Seems like they would like hit a bunch. It's like a lip one, a bottom lip, top lip, nose. They're all just so close.
Yeah. Can you imagine masking up with those things on?
Oh my goodness. Fast forward her to 2021, right? And she's like, "I'm gonna do this thing."
Yeah.
They hate her shit. They hate Preeti's shit.
I really hate her stuff too. Ashley, I think Ashley's the first person to hit us with, "I'm not a pastry chef."
Then why'd you do a pastry?
Yeah, then why'd you do a pastry? She was like, "I thought I had enough time, but then I fucked it up."
She says it when she's making it. She's like, "I don't do pastries, but fuck it, why not?" Like, have you ever watched this show before?
You can't be like that on the show. Got to come in with a plan.
Yeah.
And then work back from there. You can't just be too spontaneous in that way. She is good. Ashley is good. I feel like if I'm remembering the season correctly, she does a couple of really good things and then eats it. But and then she did very well with her watermelon.
They love that.
Which if she'd just done that, she wouldn't have been there. You wouldn't have to be in my office.
They were interrogating her about the panna cotta.
Yes.
She said "bay" like 40 times in 10 seconds. Like back and forth. They were like, "Use the bay." "Yeah, use the bay." "Use the fresh bay or the dry bay?" "Well, I had the dry bay, but I used some of the fresh bay." "Well, just use all fresh bay if you got fresh bay." Yeah, and I was like, "Oh my god, I feel crazy now."
It was bay overload. Yeah. Didn't Tom was an advocate for you have to use fresh or being consistent, I guess, with the type that you're making. Yeah, that was what it was about.
Use the fresh bay. Yeah, use the fresh bay next time. And some of the dry bay.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they talking about? Oh, bay leaves.
Mm-hmm. believes.
So they sent him away so they can finish talking about them.
Oh, what was it? Who was it? Was it Preeti that did something where she was kind of pushing back on them a little bit? And she mentioned that like a lot of people liked it and kept coming back.
You come back for more, yeah.
And I was thinking about that. I was like, that would really fuck with you if you were on that show and you cooked something and it was like for these regular people and they're like, oh, this is great. They kept coming back. And then you went to judge the table and they were like, that was disgusting. Like it would be confusing because you're like, well, some people liked it, right? It couldn't have been that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
did she even say at the beginning of the episode who to cook for? Was that her who was like, I don't know who to cook for? Should cook for the judges or for the challenge?
She might have, yeah. Always cook for the judges.
Yeah. They get sent away, they get brought back, and they eliminate old resting smile face Eve.
Yeah, poor Eve.
And she takes it well or bad. I can't tell. Same face the whole time. She says they go home, and same look.
Very hard to tell if she's disappointed or not. It's all about Eve. She eats it. She goes home. She mentions in her exit interview that she was just like, she felt like she couldn't really be her natural self and cook. Mm-hmm. She also gave the old, they didn't get my shit. Mm-hmm. They didn't get, I actually do crazy stuff that doesn't taste good. And I think it's interesting. A lot of my friends say good job. And I guess here they don't like that.
Was it her that said that the critique of her was like she just put shit together and seeing if it works?
Yeah, that's pretty much what Tom said.
We don't think she knows what she's doing. She's just trying things and seeing if it works.
Yeah, just throwing it together without like really, well, in their opinion, knowledge of like what would work together.
Right. Yeah. And maybe it's true. Maybe she got out of her element. Maybe she saw the crazy shit everyone was doing and I was like, oh shit, I got to try some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So her little food had a popcorn on it, which the Bachelor liked.
Yeah, he was like, this is delicious. Thank you. I wanted the popcorn. Tom said it's disgusting. This is food for common people.
You're an idiot. You
actually like this? Gross.
You're a moron. You're an idiot.
I got something on my butt that's hurting me. I gotta get out of here.
Take a look at this.
I gotta go to a doctor.
Reeves, do you know where she is now?
I do. So she's actually done very well for herself.
Okay.
Which is always exciting when it's someone that's been, you don't see a lot of now anymore. So Eve Fernandez, she is a chef and owner of Fritz, I think it's Banditos.
Okay.
Banditos in Michigan. So there's I think there's two restaurants, like two versions of this, one in Ann Arbor and one in Detroit. It looks like it's won a bunch of awards.
Okay.
It's like Cuban culture inspired restaurant. There was like burgers, milkshakes. It looks good. Like it looks like a really good restaurant. If I lived there, I would go to it.
It
seems like she's doing well. Yeah. So good for her.
Good for you to come up from getting the second elimination in season 6. You know what? It was a hard season. Hard season.
Difficult season. You were there. You made it there. That's good enough. And now you're kicking ass in Michigan.
Yeah. Is that where the episode ends now? Is this goodbye?
There used to be Brian Jackson in action, but that got retired.
And then there was the Reeves moment of sassy or something.
Rebellion. But that, rebellion. But we got rid of that.
And then Jamal did something.
I mean, I know a lot of people don't listen to the beginning part of the episode, but it feels like a nice bookend would be for us to maybe do the commercial for the.
Okay.
If you're too horny.
Okay. So, before we do that, folks, we're still sitting at 39 reviews.
I think it went down. I think I checked it the other day and it went down and I was like, what the hell?
Someone took away their review.
Don't do that. Oh, no, wait, it's back. Oh, wait, we got another one.
Is there words?
Wait a second. Okay. This will send us out.
Mine still says 39. It's a new one.
There's a new one. Okay, we'll read it live. Wait, is this very? Yeah. Maybe cut this. I think it's embarrassing for us to read this.
No, this is fun because we found it on the fly.
This is very nice that someone wrote a. I want to read it first just to make sure that there's nothing mean that's said and we need to not say it.
No, I think it's good.
Okay, you want to read it?
No, you do it.
Okay, so great show, 5 stars. Absolutely one of the most entertaining podcasts out there. And most of the time, the talk most of the time to talk a little about my favorite show, Top Chef.
LOL.
LOL. So glad I found it. Found it right before season 19 with listening to all of that one and the rewatch of season 5. Great show.
Okay.
Thank you. That
Thank you
means
so
a lot.
much.
We really appreciate you.
Yeah. We're still
That's
at
very
39
nice.
somehow, but we do like that.
Yeah, somehow a great show when you submitted yours, it deleted another one. And it's of some trick that Apple Podcast is playing on us where they won't put us at 40, which would really help my brain to see it at 40.
39 is a weird number. So go ahead. Be like, what was her name?
I think it was Pun 74.
Pun 74.
Very nice. Thank you.
Leave us a nice review. And we'll read it on the podcast like this in a very weird, awkward, kind of self-serving, masturbatory way.
I think definitely cut this.
Nope. Here we go. So it's a gritty cut. We're starting far away from this like nice like Tesla car.
Mhm.
And it's in this like parking garage, dark, dimly lit parking garage, and it's the only car in there. Slow pan kind of pulling in on this Tesla, and we see inside the window a doctor in a lab coat just going to town.
Damn it.
on some pomade.
My wife,
getting it everywhere.
My wife is gonna be so angry.
He's pissed. The window rolls down, and it's like he's never seen a camera before in his life.
Hey, are you too horny? Have you had it looked at yet? You gotta have it looked at. Hey.
The other window rolls down. He's forced to look out that window.
Check out these charts.
He pulls out a chart, and it goes from red to green.
You got 3 levels of horniness. Green, not horny at all. Yellow, horny, you should think about it, but don't see a doctor, don't bother me with it. Red, come to my office, I'll cut the horny out of you.
The sunroof opens, and he looks up the sunroof.
Hey, I have a license. I am no longer in jail. I can do any operation I need to. Oh, damn it. I got more lo mein on me.
There's a knock on the back window. It's a security guard hitting it with his nightstick.
Okay, I gotta go. Call me if you're too horny. Call me 1-800 get rid of the horny, and it's me, Dr. Pupaccio.
He says, "I know it's very funny." Camera starts to slowly fade away. The security guard goes back over to the driver's side. We see them arguing. We kind of hear murmuring. We're not quite sure what it is, but we like hear it. All of a sudden, the door opens up. He shoots the security guard in the foot. The security guard is screaming and jumping around. He throws the car in neutral, spins those tires, gets out of there, runs forward, stops right at the camera, looks out the passenger side window and says,
"That's 1-800 stop your horniness. I can help you. I think I just killed a man."
Sirens are in the background. Helicopter. It's like GTA. He's got the 5-star rating on the top. He's like, "You should leave us 5 stars."
5 stars.
So with that, we're gonna pack our knives and go.
Bye.
This was fun.
Absolutely.
This is great, guys. You guys got something here. This is fun.